Growing up in the 90s, I was born into a middle-class family here in Nairobi, the third of 4 daughters and a lone son. Being brought up, I was the definition of a textbook middle child. Often feeling ignored and neglected, I became very adventuresome and more destructive, always leaving my parents and siblings perplexed by my never-ending shenanigans. By the time I was 9 years old, my father was blessed with the opportunity to go work for the government of Botswana, and so we moved. Arriving in Botswana, it didn't take long to understand that my entire family was different. We spoke, dressed, and even cooked different. What's worse, the residents and my peers alike never shied away from letting us know that we were different, often being tagged mukwerekwere, a derogatory term for a person that speaks a language not native to their land. Always a foreigner, growing and learning to discover oneself wasn't always easy, and for so long I was very reserved. My main companions included my siblings, and our strong bouts of sibling rivalry never went unnoticed. We spent so much time together locked up indoors to please our overprotective father that we got on each other's nerves without even trying. When adolescence came knocking, my social skills hadn't improved that much. My friends remained my siblings and a select few. I also noticed that my body developed slower and much later than those of my peers, and this dropped my self-esteem even further, plunging me deep into a world of depression and self-loathing, always feeling awkward and like I didn't belong in any setting. Having no one around to confide in meant that I kept these feelings all bottled in and harbored, hoping to forget them. I battled with bouts of feeling up one day and suddenly down the next, on and off continuously. My peers didn't help much either, always calling me names in reference to my boy-like figure and appearance. I was tall, lanky, pimply, foreign, and had all the misery to go with it. Never did I ever feel beautiful, let alone have someone reaffirm my stance by calling me beautiful. With time, I died a little more inside. I loathed myself so bad I didn't leave any room for anyone to love me, or even make an attempt. As was always the case, I packaged all my feelings and locked them up deep within me, and when I succeeded in making myself feel numb, I aimlessly proceeded on with life. I went on to completing my undergraduate degree, still in Botswana, and came out of it very reserved and a loner, often disguising myself as a true-born introvert. But truly, what I had been suffering from was depression and a serious lack of belief in self. This had me shying away from any opportunity to network with people. I moved back to Kenya at the age of 23, and the struggle to fit in began all over again. Culture shock and a massive difference in population meant that my tolerance of crowds went really down, and my anxiety surges whenever I walk into a crowded room at a networking event and cannot identify a single person I know. More often than not, I walk in, avoiding eye contact, and find a nice and solitude corner to plant myself in until someone I know walks in, or wait for someone already in the room to approach me and begin conversation. It can never be the other way around, with me approaching someone first. The conversation never flows and I clam up and forget what to say or even where to start. It was only after the Amani Social Innovation Management Program that I could finally dig up all that hidden emotion and challenge myself to face them. I notice daily how some of the students I work with at Rock suffer from a lack of self-esteem, and although common, this is something that is very avoidable and unnecessary to put oneself through. As humans, we tend to be our biggest critics, and 9 times out of 10, it is unwarranted criticism, just us being hard on ourselves. When we are young, we tend to confuse the meaning of true beauty. We limit it to the exterior so much that it throws you off the inner beauty you possess. The kindness you show, the thoughtfulness and selflessness you portray on a daily basis, that is beauty far beyond what your face or body may look like. I speak of this now because if my vulnerability has the ability to open up room for dialogue, as well as help create a healing pattern for a few individuals, no matter how small the number, then it is beneficial to us all. Mental health is a real challenge. We face different forms and symptoms of it on a daily basis, but not all of us are brave enough to face our challenges head on and dare them to break us down further. We are bigger than our thoughts. Do not let them control you, but rather build you into a person of substance. Learn to tame the mind and the body will comply. Looking back at my childhood now, I am grateful that I wasn't acknowledged for my physical beauty, as it made me subconsciously work hard at cultivating purpose within myself that is far greater than beauty that is skin deep. I'm glad that I was born in the middle, because this taught me the valuable lesson that is sharing, patience, and always being there for my loved ones. Yes, I'm a beautiful girl, but that alone does not define me.